Jessie Ware, I know you had journalistic aspirations at one stage. Now that you've had some time on the other side of the fence, are there any questions that you haven't been asked or topics that you haven't covered in interviews that you've thought, hey, I should probably be asked this question?
What you can do is ask questions like this that I've never been asked before. That's really good, and not ask me what my wildest moment is.
Wildest moment? That sounds salacious.
Because I've got a song called Wildest Moments, so they always think it's really funny to ask me what my wildest moment is.
It is funny.
Don't ask me. Are you going to ask me?
No, I'm not. Laneway, I think, is probably the perfect setting for you festival-wise in Australia, because with festivals, obviously, people like a lot of raucous stuff, and your stuff doesn't so much fit that bill, whereas Laneway is more of a taste-making sort of vehicle for a lot of people, and there are different sorts of acts on there. Did you find maybe the more sort of intimate stages by festival standards, and also the clientele there, more kind of up your alley?
I think that it's a really good one to do as my first trip to Australia. It's very generous about being like, you know, these are new people and the taste-making thing. So I really appreciate Laneway for putting me on, because, you know, it's a real schlep for me to get here and for them to bring me over. And so it's such a compliment that they want me over here. I think I'm probably the most poppy thing on the lineup, which I think is quite nice too. If you want a bit of easy listening, I'm there for you for a bit of yacht rock.
There's a lot of abrasive stuff on there.
There's quite a lot of rock stuff. So I think it's a nice mix. It's kind of a bit of electronic, you know.
A lot of it has a pop sensibility though. It's quite melodic, even if it is abrasive or really rocky.
Yeah, like this new band, Mister. I think they're getting really popular in Australia, but they're really new. And they're from New York, and they're amazing, and they kind of reminded me of like Florence and No Doubt. So I think it's been really great, and it's also really nice to be a touring festival where you see the same people, and people are starting to chat to each other from different bands, because we're like 4 gigs in. Still want to speak to Batful Ashes.
You've not spoken to her?
I've kind of said, well done, I really loved your set.
You're a bit starstruck, eh?
Really starstruck with her. She's so beautiful.
I feel like with you, there's sort of a timelessness to your sound. It's not assignable necessarily to a particular era, apart from maybe some of the more sort of electronic moments. Is that longevity something that you've always wanted as part of your sound?
I think it was definitely important for me to try and create something kind of classic, so I didn't feel like it was too of now. You know, I hope to do this for the rest of my life as a career, and so I think you have to I wanted to almost think a little bit ahead, even if that is quite ambitious. I wanted my songs to stand up in a few years and not just to be like, oh, that sounds very kind of 2012. Also, you know, the electronic element was really important to me to kind of make it feel modern and fresh. But
how do you go about ignoring the contemporary, like the now, though? Is that a conscious thing that you do to try and go, well, I'm not going to get influenced by stuff that's sort of really transient?
No, because I was influenced by stuff that was of now, like The Weeknd. The first EP that The Weeknd brought out was when I was kind of starting to write, and I found it really like this downer R&B. I loved it. It was so exciting. You know, Subtract was an influence to me, and his music is now, but it's still got that kind of filmic kind of thing to it. So I don't think you can overthink it. I think you just try and do something that you like and hope it's got a bit of a groove.